Hey there, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast. But before I take you to your show, I have a very small request to make. Do check out the other episodes that we have created so far. And as you know, we are available on all major music and podcast streaming apps across the world. So, whichever podcasting platform you're listening to, do hit the follow button and leave us a rating, as that will help us improve our content and reach a wider audience. And with that, welcome to the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome once more to Say That Again, Mate. We are trying to bring episodes every week. But before I proceed, I'll just have a quick follow up. Priya, are you there? Have you joined?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello, hello.
great. Great. So, if you remember my last week's rant, where India match and we drew
Yes,
the series 2-all, we did
yes.
come back. We did win the ODI series and the T20, and what a performance by our guys. I was just
Woohoo.
so happy last week. I just wanted to mention that on the podcast. It's like my rant actually worked. I was seriously frustrated and felt really sad when we lost that test match, but we are back and we are back with a bang. The boys played really well, you know.
Mashallah, Subhanallah, the boys did really well. Shurva.
So we're just back on the table, guys. But one thing that's hitting the entire country is Virat Kohli, man. He's not able to score a century. It's so much around the news, so much pressure. I can just imagine what he must be
Memes
going
all
through.
around.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, you cannot doubt a player who has scored 70 centuries in less than a decade. 70 centuries. I mean,
That's
I
not a
mean,
small number.
we are not experts, but in India, everyone is a cricket expert. Everyone is a cricket commentator. So I just hope that he comes back and he comes back with a smile. Like,
Definitely.
yeah,
Promising
he,
because he always had this charisma that
yeah,
he is promising great cricketer. Anyway, diet trying is the main motto of any sportsmanship, any
exactly.
sportsman. So, speaking of diet trying, this reminded me. Uh, do you have any idea for your tombstone or something? This question which people ask, what do you want to write on your tombstone? And people come up with interesting answers. So, what's on?
Oh, this reminded me of a great story, but I'll I'll uh, I'll tell you what my tombstone would have on it.
Okay.
So it'll be the mediocre is gone.
Uh,
Or or he was a mediocre.
thy name was Kumar Gaurav.
He was a mediocre, but he tried to be better. Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it meant diet trying or something related to
Yeah,
that phrase which I just said. I love this.
yeah.
A good choice of words. I may say
What would be
mediocre.
yours? What would be yours?
I want to have this the same like she tried and uh, she tried till her last breath.
Yeah.
I want to fight like that, even if I'm touch wood, if I'm not in that stage where. And let's not get serious, but it just yeah.
Of course. I'll tell you one very quick story that this thing just came into my head. You know, the great Ruskin Bond, who lives in Landover
Yes.
in Uttarakhand. So I once got an opportunity to visit his house, but he wasn't there, unfortunately. But I did see the campus and all of those things. He lives around the woods, and it's a very peaceful place, like 1 hour from Missouri.
Yes.
And so there's this story about Mr. Ruskin Bond, is that he was invited to a school because a lot of school kids read his stories and poems
Yes.
in all CBSE and ICSE curriculars. So he was invited to that school, and one of the teachers asked one of the students to say something about Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond was sitting right there. And one of the very young girls, she said that He's not a
Hmm.
bad writer after all. She said like a 2 minute speech, and at the end of the speech, she said he's not a bad writer after all. And when Ruskin Bond came on the stage and he took the mic, he said that that will be my epitaph. He was not a bad writer after all.
Lord.
Savage, man,
Nevertheless,
savage.
that it's like that comment. Nevertheless, I wasn't a bad writer, so
Yeah.
made that place at least. You said Uttarakhand. Okay, so I read this very stupid thing. That's why it just flashed in my eyes. Have you heard of this thing where owner of one car, he had this nameplate where the initials, the letter, the numbers, it projected as if it was PAPA. These letters.
No, it was actually in Hindi. Papa.
Papa.
P P A की मात्रा प आगे which
Papa.
actually read 4141 should have been
Yes.
4141 but was printed in such a way. Yeah,
Yes.
man. I mean, crazy. The creativity.
So
Do
yes,
you see the creativity in that?
Uttarakhand, UK people. I must tell you, UK people are some another level creative.
Not just
Another
that.
level story.
Recently, I like a month back maybe, I read this news that someone paid 5 lakhs to get a special number for their two-wheeler. So that scooty, that Activa,
Wow.
which would cost somewhere around 65 grand or 70 grand, and 5 lakhs to just get a number plate of his choice, man. Are you crazy?
Also, would you, if you had chance or if you had that much money, of course, to like spare on these nasty things, would you do that?
No, I would not. Would never.
But that will end up you bringing into this news.
No, no, no. See, I know that it's a waste. I'll be happy looking at my number
No.
plate for, let's say, 1 day, 2 days, or maybe a week. But after that, I'll be used to it, and I just think that it's a waste. It's sheer stupidity. But we should not comment because a lot of people are spiritual about numbers and they follow some numerology
Yes,
and all of those
they are
things.
very serious about these things. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's their choice, but me personally, I would not go. Let's say, Priya, about you. If would how much money are you willing to pay to get a number of your choice?
Well, I'm not number plate or numbers or letters enthusiast, so I
Okay.
won't do that. But I am up for these stupid things which comes in my head, and I stop myself because of the money problem.
Yeah.
So if I had that money, I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Okay, let me make some
Yes.
calls to the PMO to increase your salary.
So you know what happened? Uh, for example, you know how much Soumya, my elder sister. By the way, guys, check out our podcast number 3. Correct me if I'm wrong,
What
Ketibaya.
a plug. What a
Yes,
plug.
yes.
Go ahead.
So reference to my sister, she and I were in Lonavala recently, and I saw one couple fighting over this packet of chips, and it was normal like potato one.
Mhm,
So they were sharing, and he was quoting that, hey, this is the same potato chips which we get in our city, something like that. And
mhm,
he offered her some, like, have it. And the urge to snatch that packet and just to eat it. These all active guys. I'm not crazy. These all activities just get into my head. I want to do some stupid things in public, and I don't want to get judged. And I want that instant reaction of surprise and taken aback that how is this girl doing this? We don't even know her. Why is she eating our chips? So I just wanted to snatch that chips, and in my head I was going, वही वाला सेम टेस्ट है ये तेरे सिटी वाला टेस्ट मेरे
So
को भी
you would
सेम लगा.
randomly go to a stranger and
Yes,
ask for the packet of chips that they're eating. Can I taste one? That's great. That's great for the
this is
unity of this country. Priya.
Yeah. This is just
I,
one-fourth part of my brain which I have shared with you guys. I am weird. I want to do these activities. For example, if someone puts their hand up for like to call someone, I want to give high five to them. I'm walking down the street. If I
Toss.
see someone doing this in my head, I'm doing that high five. Hey, what's up, man? So all those prank videos have you seen?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
a lot of them.
yeah, I love them. Some of them
So
are really
you are basically your objective of one fourth of your brain is to make this place, make this country a happier place or this world a happier place, you know?
Yeah, why stopping yourself with a string to
Exactly. I mean,
uh,
nobody should be feeling weird if you ask for a piece of chips from the packet. Nobody should be. But just imagine how it'll, trigger that happiness or excitement, like a weirdness.
yeah.
And that's
How
that's
yes.
that's the hormone we are talking about.
Yes. Whole day he or she is gonna think about, I mean, I don't know, but he or she is gonna like tell the story going back to his
She
bike.
was a crazy ass, just came
Yeah,
in.
we met this girl and we were eating chips and she snatched that one chip from my hand and said, yeah, it tastes the same, the one which you said. So I want to do those activities. Anyway,
It's
guys, speaking of stupid activities, my brother is appearing in like JEE exam. Uh, and now that there in your era, we can actually quote this sentence now. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's high time you are now the generation, one generation away from the Gen Z. So
I
we can
know.
say in our era, हमारे जमाने में जेई के एक ही एग्जाम हुआ करता था, आईआईटी का एक ही एग्जाम हुआ करता था. Now it's
Right.
been divided into like mains and advanced. Now in JEE main also you can appear twice. Did you know that?
I had an idea, but these guys are getting a better chance. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Of course, we every like person from every generation thinks like, अरे आपके जमाने में तो easy हो गया, हमारे जमाने में तो बहुत ऐसा था, हमें नदियां पार करके जाना पड़ता था और मतलब हमें कार्टव्हील करना पड़ जाता था, ये सारी तो हमारा ये आए गए. Anyway, I was just I saw this news where it quoted that one uh, child. I should say child because he's much younger than
Yes,
us.
mommy. Mommy,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Suddenly feel like I'm like closer to 30 now, not even to my age. I just after 25 you start feeling like okay 30 aane wala hai. 30 abhi aane wala hai. You start forgetting my age. Anyway,
This just
so
gives me anxiety. Okay, go ahead. You were saying.
this guy has appeared twice. Also, he topped in like he was a topper in the first JE main, 99.9 percentile. I'm guessing 99.5 or something like that. Anyway, 99 plus percentile was the score
Okay.
he achieved. Yet he said this was his sentence that I just wanted to give this second exam for practice. Loud and clear, he said, I just wanted to take for practice. Taking one seat away from God, buddy, please, buddy, brother, don't
I
do
mean,
this.
where is the police of that state? Why are they not arresting this guy?
Really, I mean, we would
You're
have, if we would
scoring
have
a freaking 99 point something percentile. You're still appearing just to show off that, okay, this is just a practice for me, and I
practice,
appeared on a practice and still scored 99. You guys suckers.
yeah, man,
You keep
yeah,
trying, man. You still got 60. What? Damn,
yeah.
Priya. I hate it. I just hate such people who
You
show off their
remember how much
intelligence.
yeah, how much we used to like envy these nerds. I'm gonna say this word,
There's a
nerd.
reason. There's a reason
Yeah.
why my epitaph says mediocre. There's a reason. This guy has
We're
no
gonna
right.
no right to put mediocre word on his epitaph. Whoever is this appearing twice in JE after scoring 99. God.
Yes. I mean, we used to envy these people so much that if the class scenario used to be तेरा इतना अच्छा मार्क्स आ गया अब तो हम तुझे छोड़ेंगे ही नहीं इतना उसको हम they used to taunt this person कि वो
Nah.
next time before scoring well in exam he used to think twice अरे यार मेरा I'm gonna score full marks and am I gonna be alive in hostel or not?
Are
These
these guys gonna bully me again?
yes, the heckling is gonna start again. Okay, 25 वाले लोग आ गए हैं. Like in DPS, we used to have Monday test, so
Okay, yeah,
it
yeah.
was out of 25. That's why I said that number. Ah, nostalgic.
I mean, the life of these achievers, it's also very difficult if we
Correct.
look at it from a sensible point of view. These guys
Yeah.
have a pressure of being on the top. And
Correct.
us mediocres, we don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
60
Nothing
or
to lose.
80. Anything between that works for us. They cannot go down under 99 or anything. They have to be
Yeah.
above there. Oh God.
Yeah.
I just feel for you, but I never want to be you.
Also, you know, there. I remember this scene from our assembly.
Mhm.
So our principal randomly she said there is one debate competition which held on this date, and this these two guys they appeared and they represented our school. So now that we cannot like recreate all those debate like rounds which they played,
Yeah.
so a bit they are gonna show in this assembly and we were like, oh my God, it's already 1 hour. Oh, we cannot hear this. We are not ready for this. And I remember at that time, Arvind Kejriwal and Anna Hazare debate was like one of the hot topics.
Right, right.
Uh, so this guy, like we are talking about 2012. So we were quite, naive for all of these political issues. And I felt like this was kind of like putting your like smoothly putting your show off skills like see I know all of these
Yeah,
aware
yeah,
of
yeah.
these stuff. And this guy loudly said he was talking like Arnab Goswami at that time and his structure was also like personality wise and body structure was also like Arnab Goswami so
There's
uh,
only one Arnab Goswami. I
yeah.
repeat, there's only one Arnab Goswami, and you're not allowed to talk beyond that.
I'm really sorry. Really sorry. So this guy, not only that like, he was speaking like Arnab Goswami, and he was stopping the other guy just the way Arnab used to. Like, wait a minute, what about Arnab Kejriwal? What about Arnab? And we busted out laughing. What is happening in this assembly? This just got interesting. We were not ready for this Monday. It was
Wow,
fun.
Priya.
So the
Really,
thing
really
was,
exciting school that you went to, huh?
yeah, the thing is, these nerds, I know these people are now in very good position right now. Of course, they must have kept a bar high for themselves. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
competition with themselves first, and then with the other
Yeah,
people
and
in this.
if you usually appear like twice in JE, you are supposed to do
Correct,
well, right? That's
correct, correct.
that's that's the deal here.
Showing such controversial statement that I'm doing this for practice, I think it's a bit, you know, uh, intriguing for other people
Yeah.
who who have like worked hard, sweat off for this particular one exam so that they can get into NIT at least. So I don't think it was this statement was justified. Other than you can give, of course,
Hey,
why not?
did you do any kind of poem reciting or such things while you were in school?
I didn't like not on stage, but in the classroom we had these tests, and then
No, no, no.
on
That
stage.
that doesn't count. That doesn't
No,
count.
Okay, okay. So,
So this is a request from our audience. Like next episode, you're gonna learn a poem that you did on your like childhood days, and
of
just come
course,
and recite it for our audience, man. Let's make it
I am up for
exciting.
it. Yes, I am up for it. There are some, like, when you said poem, uh, there are few lines, road not taken. It just
Hey,
appears.
uh,
Yeah.
the road not taken takes
Yes.
me to this very interesting topic. That is the country which nobody's taking. That's Sri
Yes.
Lanka, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen. I mean, such
oh,
a pretty, beautiful country, beautiful people. And
yes.
they just fell for that trap, what China did. And the leaders of Sri Lanka, they didn't manage the money well. So I mean, this is all over the news these days. So I was listening to a couple of analysts, and they said that the reason why Sri Lanka is on the decline is because the money they had, they are uh, spending more than that. They had
Hmm.
so much of loan that even the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, won't be able to bail out them unless, I mean, they would be able to, but they'll be putting some very harsh clauses and all of those things, which is going to make things very difficult for the people of Sri Lanka. And
Correct.
I I mean, do you remember that Taliban incident when the American forces pulled off
Correct.
from
Correct. How can we
Afghanistan?
forget that? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that pathetic situation where the Taliban
Correct.
people took over the president's house and all of those things, when the similar thing was happening in Sri Lanka, man, people were running towards the presidential palace and the prime minister's office, and they just took over everything. They were sleeping on the couch, they were using the gym, they were watching television, maybe stealing things, and so many things. And I
This.
won't say that they're wrong or anything. It's just the
Hmm.
aggression. It's just the aggression. The army in Sri Lanka knows that. So they are also not very harsh against the
Mm-hmm.
protesters. So even if they are like putting the tear gases on, they'll provide water and something to people who are
Okay.
actually affected by it. So
Quite
it's
considerate.
yeah, it feels really bad, man. Such a beautiful country, which had like most of its income from tourism and
Tourism.
coconut. Coconut was one of their biggest exports
Correct.
in Sri Lanka. And man, I just feel so sorry for them. And not just that, not just that. There's a thing called the amount, I'm forgetting the term. This in every state or every country is allowed to spend a certain amount of money, which obviously they don't have, but
Hmm.
they spend it on credit, but they have this what do you call projection where they know that okay, this amount of money is going to come back from the taxes, from these and things, from exports and all of those things. In India, there are certain states which are crossing that limit, you know, and it's
Correct.
alarming. States like Punjab and Rajasthan, they are in so much of debt right now, which so there's this figure of they should be spending somewhere around 20% of
Mm-hmm.
what they're allotted, what
Hmm.
credit they can go based on the GDP of that state, 20% more than that, but they've gone to 60%. And it's very alarming. Sri Lanka went to 110%, and they are in that
Oh,
state right now. And these states are around 60%. So it's actually really bad. You know where this comes from? Unnecessary subsidies that are given to the government, to the people, just to get votes. Like recently,
okay.
they announced that your electricity will be free, or every woman of certain age will be getting 1,000 rupees per month. Why would you do that? Create a
When you're
jobs so that
already,
they
yes,
can earn
correct.
10,000 and
Yes.
not just depend on the 1,000 that you are giving it. Create jobs that are so that they pay taxes and you get the money. Instead of the taxes that you have collected, you are giving it back to these people in form of cash. Give them jobs. That is what is very important, which just to get votes these people announce things like this. And it is just, I mean, the logic is out of the window. The finance is out of the window. They just feel like, okay, this 5 years I'm in the government, whoever comes next will see. It's not like that, man. The people who are like on the street, who are working the ass off to get things in place and paying their taxes and everything, they're just like blasted. They're shot. It's just like that, man. And I think the situation in Sri Lanka should not be coming here because that's the trend. Um, the government and everyone and our external affairs is so strong at this point. Especially the external affairs. That guy is a rock star. So
Yeah.
what happened is you had a point to say, Priya?
I just wanted to say, I feel bad about the vandalization which happened because
Yeah.
the way the leaders had to like escape from the place, and this is gonna be history. This is gonna be on books
Yeah,
how this
man.
happened, and our next generation are gonna look up to these guys, and they're gonna set these. Some of them are gonna set this as a thing that okay, our uh, ancestor had these things when when they were alive, and they fought, and they were the one who were inside, like, part of this vandalization. So I feel
I
bad.
mean,
This
history is so
correct,
quickly written these days. I mean,
correct.
every day there's a new thing that's happening and
New
should be a
thing.
part of history for kids to learn. Oh man, this just
Also,
gives me a
these guys
lot of
are
pain.
good in tourism. I mean, uh, we were planning to go to Sri Lanka this year. So my father is giving a second thought now, of course.
I mean,
So my
yeah,
mom,
everything is so costly in Sri Lanka now. I mean,
yeah,
everything. People don't have money to eat food, man. So you have to
correct.
pay more than the usual price for everything, like 4 times or
Every,
maybe 10 times.
I mean, let's see where this goes. But I feel bad for the children who are gonna
Yeah.
grow up in this kind of environment. Anyway, you were saying something about uh
Yeah. So
how this works.
basically, this is again, I'll be quoting this news article from Vion News. So they were saying that um, this entire thing is a trap from China. Okay. They fell for this $1 billion loan thing when China offered to, not actually China, the Sri Lanka wanted to develop this Hambantota port and they came
Oh.
to India. Like if you want to invest, and the Indian government, the Indian experts, they suggested them that it's a port which is not going to be of any use to you because it's a port on the off route of the
Hmm.
trade route. So it won't help in the trading or anything. So it's better not to invest money in that. I don't know what those guys from the the prime minister's office thought, and they went to China next. And China gave a very conditional loan. Okay, we are going to pay you this much, and if you don't pay it back to us in next 5 years or 10 years, we're going to lease the port for 99 years. And China already has that port now. And
Correct.
because of the loan, there's no employment in that area. Nothing. That port isn't generating peanuts today. So this crazy, man. This is just extremely crazy, man. This podcast became so serious, Priya. Let's.
We should talk about like now that I've said we were planning to go to Sri Lanka. So where we have talked about this thing, but where in India you said places like would you consider Kerala or some other place next?
I
Where
would. My first preference in India will always be Kashmir. I've never been
Kashmir?
there. Never been
Yeah,
there. I want to go there badly.
you
I mean,
know,
of course, South India is
yeah,
beautiful. South India is brilliant. I mean, I always dream of doing this. I always have this plan that I'll go to one South Indian village, just stay with any family there, do what they do, eat what they eat, and just stay with them for a month in whatever
Yeah.
village. Go ahead, do farming with them, help them with the stuffs that they're doing, maybe pay them some money, eat what they're cooking, sleep the way they sleep, live the way they live, wear the clothes what they usually traditionally wear. So I want to have a holiday like this when I think of South India.
The Desi way.
Yeah,
The Desi way,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah, just gel in with
Also,
the people there.
yeah, I I had this opportunity to attend a wedding in Kerala, traditional Christian style wedding. So
Wow.
this this uh, this place, Murakkam or
Okay.
Mukkam is the place. Yes. So this place is, I think, 2 hours away from Calicut, the main city. And I noticed something, that there is a reason why people talk about Kerala, their culture, how they, manage each day activity, how they have discipline for, and
Yeah.
mutual respect towards nature, education, in terms of like promoting art forms. Uh, Kalari Payattu was the one, we were fortunate enough to, like, see the performance live in front of our eyes, and I could see the guruji who was handling that stage, the art form, all over. He almost started crying, KGV, almost.
Wow.
After the show got ended, after Kalari Payattu, and then self defense class also the guy took, and Kathakali was also performed by these two men. So this Guruji of that particular Kerala Kathakali dance was the name of the stage which they organized. And he said during COVID, we all know how much people struggled, especially these art forms. And he explained why.
Yeah.
And me and the other friend of mine, we contributed some amount, but we know it's like adding like two teaspoons into teaspoons of water into sea wala thing. So we cannot do much, but it's our contribution. But we know how much effort it takes, how much, clarity of, you know it should not be a barter system, that
Yeah.
I am providing you this art, you should pay me XYZ amount, I'm claiming. No, they are keeping the art form alive, keeping each and every detail alive. So before the Kathakali dance started, these guys were doing makeup in front of us. These guys were using colors, and then the Guruji explained how these colors are natural. These stones are, mixing indigo stone and the yellow stone. There is one
Wow.
another color made. So all these things, these connected to the audience so well, that before performance we were already there in the story. And after that, I was like, I should just sit and observe the city now. I wanted to stay there more. And there is a reason why, recently Time Magazine has put the city, this state, Kerala, in world's greatest places of 2022. Did you know that?
Wow.
And
Wow.
Kerala place, yes. So we
Man,
have
it
the
is so
opportunity to
rich
see that.
in heritage. It's so
Correct.
rich in heritage. And, there's this misconception that Kerala or the South Indian states, they have, I mean, you won't get North Indian food to eat and you'll only find South Indian dishes. Man, the North Indian food that they cook, the North Indian food that I've had in Kerala is one of the best North Indian foods that you'll get anywhere in India. I mean,
True.
may it be any veg or non-veg, because the spices are so real there. They're so
Correct.
original, and it just makes a hell lot of a difference, man, in the food that we get there.
I mean, the food tastes uh, cleaner and better. I don't know how to explain. Cleaner, I'm saying, because I know when it comes to city, how much pesticides and amalgamation of other chemicals comes into picture when we are buying fruits.
Yeah,
But
man.
Bhaiya, the house where we were staying, so auntie uncle were actually, we were not related to them. But then also the level of hospitality I observed, they got back to their routine so quickly after the marriage, which is not common in our North Indian, or I would say Western weddings. It's not, uh, you know, uh, like normal for us to get back into a routine just after the wedding day.
Yeah,
It
man.
takes like 1 week, but for them it was like, okay, cleaning the house, and they were
Everybody go
used
back
to,
to work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Come
Hey,
on,
you
come
kid,
on.
what are you doing?
Yes.
Go up here for your second JE attempt.
Yes. I clicked a video where auntie was plucking chiku from her like uh, garden. She had this own. Oh my god, the garden was like a farm. I was
I think
astonished when I get
Kerala
back.
Tourism is soon gonna hire you, Priya, as your brand ambassador for free.
I don't
We
think
won't
it
mind that.
needs.
We won't
it
mind that
it
as long
feels
as
like the soul was getting cleansed. I'm just saying that the noise was the noise of silence. Noise isn't the right word, but
and
yeah.
Priya, you sound like some yogi now. Before you dig deeper into that and go into some kind of a meditation,
Okay,
let's
okay,
move to the
okay.
next topic if we have any.
Yes. Uh, so I just wanted to discuss how our Indian culture is trying to, you know, uh, indulge our people into uh, promoting these kind of art forms more. The agenda before saying anything about Kerala art form was to how these people are trying
Yeah,
their best. Died trying, guys. They died trying.
we just close that joke which
Close
we
that.
start.
Before closing my bit. This is my preface. That's all from my side. Signing off, Priyanka Mishra.
All right, so now I'm the only one left in this podcast. So the next topic that we have to discuss is about India's population, Priya. Do you have any idea what we are doing with our population? We're gonna
Okay,
overtake
okay.
China next year. BBC
Mm.
says that. I never said that. BBC says that in 2023, India would be overcoming China as the most populous country in the world. And just imagine we haven't even contributed so far. There's someone
well,
else doing the record making.
well. I think our generation people are gonna take full responsibility for it, and they're gonna say like we are not moving into this. Our children are not gonna get involved on all of these things. So I think they're gonna be more responsible. What do you say? I mean, I feel so. They're more aware about so many things.
See, population has
Mhm.
always been India's strongest and weakest points
Correct.
at the same
Correct.
time, because it's
Yes.
so difficult to have an infrastructure for like what we are 1.3, we might be 1.4 billion next
One
year.
point. Yes.
So
Yes.
1.4 billion people, it's so difficult to have employment, so difficult to have health infrastructure for roads, houses, place to live, man. There are no places. I mean, we are just building houses anywhere. We are cutting trees. We are like flattening the mountains and building an apartment there. What? Are we crazy? And this had to be done because with the growing population, you need people to stay somewhere. You need a house for them, right?
Yeah.
And this is what is being done. I mean, um, yeah, man, population is always, and our dear friend, our podcast listener, Elon Musk, thinks that the world is uh,
Yes. It is
dying.
too. Yes. There are less humans. He said, like
Yeah.
humans are still
Less
not
birth
that
rate
much
is a
to.
concern for him because he won't be able to send people to
Man,
Mars because
what? what are up to these rich people? Lalit Modi and then Elon Musk. What are
Oh,
these guys up
don't tell
to?
me about Lalit Modi. You just picked the
Triggered
chord.
something?
You just
Did
touched the wrong chord, man.
wrong. Oh, I'm
It's
so sorry.
just, I mean, he's a fugitive. We are working our ass off, but we are still single, Priya. I mean, oh
I
God.
mean, we should just push ourselves. Oh my
Well
god.
put. Well
Okay,
put.
okay. Those who know, you know.
Right. Hey, coming back to the population thing, do you think like this growing population thing, how can we put a stop to it? How can we control it? Do you think the government
Well,
should put some restrictions on the number of people, number of child born in every family or something like that? I think some of the states have already started doing that where they
yes,
won't give government subsidies or government jobs to people who have more than two kids. And I'm not sure if it's Assam or some state in the Northeast.
the implementation of such norms are gonna take time here in India
Yeah,
because uh, you know the way it
obviously
works. Yes, हाँ
the
हम
population.
अपन अपन करेंगे. मैं आता हूँ कल. तू रुक. तू रुक, मैं
Hey,
आता हूँ कल. It's like
the biggest example of what we were just talking is the COVID, the pandemic. You
hmm,
saw the countries with less population, they were in a way able to control things and regulate vaccines quickly and everything. But India, I mean, they've done a tremendous job in the way the vaccines have been distributed and regularized. And
correct.
I mean, most of the people are vaccinated, having both doses, something like that. But still, just imagine we had to work on a war front to get 1.3 billion people vaccinated or um, getting the COVID test, arranging beds, so many things, man. So this population thing is it's alarming in a way, but we do need to we do need to do something. I mean, we haven't even done anything, still we are worrying about it, Priya.
Yeah, because we are worried about what if we are actually, let's get like straight away to the point that what if we are actually, planning for to bring a life here in this
I
chaotic
mean,
world.
I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not planning anything soon,
Me
anything next
too.
month.
Oh my God, I'm putting this statement, but it just current Priyanka doesn't think like that. I don't know about tomorrow, but I feel like it's gonna be the stress level around is kind of challenging towards. Okay, you have to be even more sensitive while talking to any individual. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Even if you're talking to any person about any subject, you cannot just throw any. It's gonna take like a stereotypical way. Okay, so you're generalizing men this way. That
No, no.
we
So
keep.
this podcast is all about generalizing and stupid and mean stuff. So you can come and say
And zero.
anything here, and nobody's listening. Priya, the best thing is just both of us record and the both of us listen. So that's
Yes.
how it's going so far. So people who had questions like how your podcasting journey and career that you've just started, this is what it is, man. Both of us record and both of us listen.
And both of us, like, we have this conversation while on call also. So, yeah, I feel I have become even more like aware of my words coming out of my mouth. What if the other person will feel bad and he or she won't convey because people are becoming even more introvert
What
and
what if you get arrested, Priya?
yeah,
Whom
yeah,
am I
yeah.
gonna run this podcast with?
Oh my God, you're gonna need
That's
someone else.
talking about whom am I gonna run this podcast with. There's a quick surprise for you once more. We have got
Okay.
another question from
Oh,
Advait, and he writes that, "Hey guys, me and my wife listen to your podcast regularly. So two things. So they came up with. First is why don't you make more podcasts? I mean, more than once a week. And second, why don't you make video podcasts? So I'll first answer the question number one. Why don't we make more than one podcast? Because it's very difficult to make even one these days. Because, my co-host is kind of okay, I won't get there. But yeah, the second one, why are we not making a video podcast? Because yeah, I'm figuring out the logistics how we can make it, and Priya is figuring out how to look good on a video podcast. So the day we figure out these two things, your video podcast would be out soon.
I mean, guys,
So
I'm planning to have like very cute haircut for the podcast. So please wait. Am
that's
I done? Am I doing haircut shit, bruh? I know how
podcasts
much
were
you
supposed
enjoy it.
to be listened to. Podcasts
Yeah,
are, I mean, originally they are an audio medium, but nowadays a lot of video podcasts also they are out on YouTube for revenues and those things. And we too want to make some money, bro, because we
yeah,
are damn
because why
poor. We
not?
are dead poor these days. So
Yeah.
let's figure out a way and get this podcast going. So thanks, Advait, for reaching out to us. And to everyone who's listening, you can hit us on Instagram. Our Instagram handles I'll mention in the description wherever you're listening to us. And send us your feedback, questions, suggestions, or any topic for that matter which you want us to discuss on this podcast. And do remember,
Or
we have got some exciting guests lined up
yes,
in the coming weeks. So the achievers in their fields, and it's gonna be great. Priya, you were saying something.
I was saying, or any questions related to what we just said. I don't even remember. But anything you found interesting or, to talk about each and every podcast, if you have heard of anything, any bit which you want to discuss more. So we are up to anything like this.
Yeah, man. This is a open platform. It's just anyone and everyone can write to us and give us a feedback
Yeah, guys,
uh
we would love to hear something, some
and
considerate.
just criticize us and beat our morale like anything,
Please
but we are
don't
fine.
be guys, love us. We are
We
here
have
to
we have
stuff.
already accepted that we are mediocres and this is how we do.
Please don't hurt us. We are already broken people. Okay, bye.
No, no, no. So yeah,
Slowly
that's
disappearing. Please don't hurt me, and then slowly disappearing. Okay.
shall we put an end to this podcast, Priya? I mean,
Yes.
we have just gone off board a lot of times today. But yeah, before we log off, before we turn it off, thanks for tuning in to anyone who's listening. And remember our email ID is please say that again, mate at gmail.com for you to put your queries, questions, feedbacks, suggestions, anything. And
Yes.
do remember to follow us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to. And just, I would like to reiterate, we are on all major music streaming apps in the world. When I
Yes.
say in the world, I mean it. So we are on
I know.
Spotify, Prime Music, we're on Ghana, JioSaavn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and every other place. So just do follow us and give us a good rating so that we get motivated and keep bringing such conversations in a fun way. And yeah, like I mentioned, we have some fun guests lined up. They are great achievers in their fields, and just stay tuned. We're
Looking
gonna
forward.
bring, yeah,
Before ending this, I just want to say thank you, Advait. Thank you, Advait's wife also. I don't know the name. So it was nice hearing from you guys. We are surely going to work upon the 2 points you said. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So Priya's gonna work on looking good, and I'll be arranging some cameras and those things. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Hope you had a great time. And if you have reached this far, so do tune in next week. We'll be back again with another podcast, and see you all. Bye bye.
Hashtag die trying. Bye.
Bye, Priya. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey there, thanks for listening to the podcast. Just in case you liked the episode, do leave us a rating and follow us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to. It'll be of great help if you share the podcast with your friends and tell them what podcast you're consuming. And you can also send us your questions, suggestions, feedbacks, and AMAs at pleasesaythatagainmate@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our Instagram. Our handles are there in the description of the show. And with that, I'll take your leave and see you again next week.